Well, welcome back, everyone. It's good to be here. Pam and I took a small break to take care of other things, and we are back. And um, I always think and pray about what I'm going to talk about. These little introductory things, and I have been, as per normal with me, searching for what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. Right? And at this stage, I've done a bunch of stuff. But at this stage of my life, where should my efforts go? And well, definitely with WeAwake, but it probably to do with writing. And what do I want to write about? Well, that's what I want to talk about right now. We live in very challenging, difficult times, and I can say that for everybody that's here on the screen with us, as you can see. Not all of us are in the United States. But we have lived through a time that is so painful and so difficult. And we have a president who has been appealing, trying to evoke the angels of our lesser nature for almost 4 years, trying to divide us along our fractures and our ancient wounds by race, ethnicity, class, money, all of these things. And he's really good at it. And he's really captured a large portion of the United States, our family here. And it really bothers me. But let's say, it's a lot easier to push a cart downhill. It's easier to be bad than it is to be good. Okay. There's already that, it's just gravity's helping you out. You can get going and you can just really roll, and you can go. A lot of effort to get that cart to where it was on that hill can be just reversed and taken down in a very short time. And I think one of the most important cosmically, universally, politically acts that we can do is to work on ourselves and develop a transformational practice that we can become the best version of ourselves, because there's no problems on our planet right now that are not caused by you and me. And that's where the solutions are going to have to come to also. And just good intentions, it's good. It's a good place to start, but it's not enough. It takes a lot more. It takes wisdom. It takes correct maps so that we don't just cause more problems and we're fighting. We're trying to correct. We need to learn to speak to people in the language they can hear. So it's important that we understand developmental psychology, so we just don't take our level and try to shove it down everybody else's throats, even if the cause is really noble. Because what's it going to do? It's going to cause more problems, and it's going to the Aesop's fable, when they were trying to get the little guy to take off his coat, was the wind and the sun, right? And they had a competition going, and the wind went, and he just hunkered down, and it just got stronger, the attachment to that cloak. And the sun came and warmed it up just naturally and with loving sun rays, right? Sunshine, and he took it off. There was a less approach there. So we're at a time where we're really fighting for the soul of our country. And the United States is an important country. We have a lot of responsibility and a lot of power, economic and politically, and we have been falling on our faces for the last few years. And we have a chance now to correct that. But an essential part of this, of course, you don't hear this. So I guess it gives us room to do what we need to do here at WeAwake, individually and personally, is the individual transformation, is healing ourselves, evolving ourselves consciously through our efforts, through practice, through humility, through a sense of being called to something greater, something better, and to live a life that is infused by wisdom and that appeals to the angels of our better nature and evokes that and strengthens that. So that's what we're doing here. And this WeAwake is a part of it. I think an important part of it, but it's just a small part. So I would ask everyone during this meditation to consider where you're at in that, in implementing perhaps that idea as a living reality of transformational practice of working on yourself. And why is that necessary? Because as John Lennon said, if we don't become the solution, we're just more of the problem. And it's going to take minds and hearts that are big enough and compassionate enough and smart enough to start healing the divides and the cracks and the fissures and the valleys and the breaks that our president has been so busy evoking and fertilizing and festering and fostering for his own personal power and gain. God help us. So we're going to criticize, we need to come up with something better. And how we do that? By working on ourselves and doing the internal work. We got to do the exterior work too. We got to take care of our bodies, take our relationships, our environment, etc. But we have to do the interior work. And that's where we'll find the strength and the vision and our individual task given to us by the universe to do the work that we need to do. So without further ado, we are going to do a 20-minute meditation today. It's a PMP, Profound Meditation Program 3-1, I believe. And it's a good one. If you guys have experienced that, PMP starts to go off the deep end about 2.2, then it gets, but yeah, you're right in the middle of it. So while this is a relatively short meditation from what we've been doing, it's a very powerful one. So my request is that we bring our hearts and minds together. And of course, you know, everything I'm saying for us in the United States is equally true for you in other countries. Okay. We're all in this together. And when we begin to see ourselves as brothers and sisters, all of us, no matter the maps on the lines, no matter what color we are, what our backgrounds are, then we can start to make a difference. But to do that, we have to heal our wounds and we have to tap in to our higher selves and the angels of our better nature. So let's roll this thing. welcome, welcome back. And I hope, anyway, thank you. I really feel your presence when we meditate together. There's a real power in that. And I think it was back early in the 20th century. I forget who did it, and I'll get right to they pose a very, maybe perhaps the most important philosophical question that one can ask. And they posed it to, I think it was Sigmund Freud and Albert Schweitzer. And I may have that, but that's really not important. What's important is the question. And this is the question: is the universe friendly? Wow. Sometimes it doesn't seem so. On the other hand, be having this conversation as we are after nothing but hydrogen gas 13.8 billion years later. Here we are. So something's working. And of course, the mystics and these people that have direct experience of these higher unitive non-dual states of consciousness, God, if you will, enlightenment, all that stuff, would answer emphatically yes, based on their experience, not on their, wouldn't it be nice? And I think that's something that we need to, somebody once said, God has no grandchildren. In other words, every generation, every individual has to do the work themselves. You can't, you can't take your, your grandmother's experience was, saintly old lady, which mine was, and expect that's going to get you through your life. You have to answer that question yourself. And one of the ways that we can do that, as we initiate a transformative practice, as we initiate an interior practice, greatly facilitated by these tracks that we're creating together at WeAwake, is ask the question: are you friendly? Great mystery? Are you personal? Well, that's scary. No, I'd say yeah. It's been my experience. The universe created personal, so how could it not be personal, right? It's an aspect of reality. And I need support, and I need guidance, and I need to learn how to quiet my big yappy brain so I can listen and learn and be transformed. Probably nothing more important than that. And whether you have, this time around, you have some great, kind of dramatic calling that involves you being in front of people and taking leadership roles and communicating, that's fine. Or if it's to be a good mother or a good father, or just, a good person who cleans the streets, and that's your thing. Well, then know that and live that. And as a yoga, as a way to connect with the divine. So the mystics would say, answer to this great philosophical question is yes. And even though all these things, the tragedy of life, the loss, the death, the pain, the hatred that we can create, hating ourselves and hating our brothers and sisters, tremendous. How could it be friendly? Well, that's part of the question. And if you open up, if you ask the question, if you ask for guidance, I'm, hey, creator, spirit, God, goddess, however you want to say it, doesn't matter. I don't know how to meditate. It's really hard. These tracks seem to be helping me, but my mind still wants to talk. What do you want me to do? Just ask. we have an internal, and if not eternal, guide inside of us, the voice of wisdom, and it can appear like angels or guides or old wise men, old wise women, but it's there. But when you start asking those important questions, everything can start shifting, and you can get direct experiences in prayer, in meditation, that you can't prove with science, but intuitively it's righter than right. It's just, yes, of course. That's how the mystic, and that's how the poet, that's how we ascertain truth. Then we have to add the science in there and correct ourselves if we're wrong, but generally speaking, that's how we do it. And also things can start happening in the outer world. You can start running into individuals. Teachers will show up. Books will literally fly off the bookshelf or wave at you from Audible, or however we do these things today. I've had books sparkle in bookstores saying, "Get me," I mean, these things happen. And, the gods and goddesses and the angels and all this, all stuff is real. Okay. Our ancestors weren't a bunch of dummies, and they lived with that experiential belief system for millennia, thousands and thousands of years. And there wasn't something to it. Why would we do it? And recently we conducted a online vision quest with WeAwake, and it was just extraordinary. And we're working, keep tuned, and we're going to do one again. And boy, it really seems that the friendly universe really wanted to do that, because the juice was on and the revelations kept coming. And what started out is me kind of holding the space for individual inquiry, interior quest for vision, turned into a field, a group experience. And after that, I'm trying to define where I stand spiritually. And I think I'm a non-dual theist and a neo-pagan. I'm going to have to add a few things on there, because those things are real. The tree does talk to you. There's spirit in the ocean. There's spirit in the streams, in the grass, in the birds, and the animals, all creatures. It's right there. We open our eyes. And how do we do that? By doing our practice of opening our heart in meditation and prayer, and stilling our minds, and doing it as if the whole world depended on it and the outcome of our transformations. And it does. So anyway, awesome to be back with you guys, and I love you very much. And if you have any questions about integral practice or the stuff or the upcoming vision quest, let us know, and we'll let you know. So we're all in this together, and let's hope we can heal ourselves in peace and in wisdom and in love. That's the way to do it. Thank you.